496-5555, Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
To the day I die. It has finally happened. Should have about 25 years ago, but congratulations. The nomination is in for Paul Rogers and Company. Bad Company. Can't go anywhere, classic rock style, without hearing a Bad Company tune. Yet the higher-ups, right? No matter where we go, we have to deal with higher-ups. And most of them are totally screwballs. They don't have any idea what's going on. Really, every phase of life. You can certainly make that case about the Jaguars over the last 30 years in a lot of set of circumstances. The rule makers, the decision makers. How do you have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and not put Bad Company in it? Will they get elected? Will they get nominated? Or with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame screwed up again? You know, they were kind of a... if you will, kind of a put-together band that was supposed to be, like The Firm years later, or Blind Faith, or the Damn Yankees, or who else? Asia, where they put all these other bands together, and I forget the name that I'm looking for, because you had Mott the Hoople, King Crimson, of course, Free, and All Right Now, which is a classic, but for one reason or another, it has never worked with Bad Company. Let me say this. You're probably getting ready to schedule some vacation time. Cleveland's a beautiful place to go, 12 months a year. I recommend it right now. I mean, can you imagine a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Cleveland? If you do visit, however, because I would never say anything bad about a city, Cleveland rocks. Don't waste your time on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It absolutely sucks. It is a complete waste of time. And I've never been so disappointed on something that I was so highly, the anticipation of what it was going to be like. And then just a flat laydown. Just a recommendation as we get things started right here on a Wednesday. But I'm kind of tickled today. I don't know why. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame means so much to me. I mean, outside of Fred Taylor not getting in and Jimmy Smith, and the fact that the Football Hall of Fame is all of a sudden turned into crusty old baseball writers, how could you, with the list that was available last Thursday, only vote 4 in? It's amazing to me. I think you could have made the case that 7 could have gotten in. And you still look at Torrey Holt and Reggie Wayne, and how are they not in? Their numbers are absolutely spectacular. And Steve Smith was among the finalists. For Jimmy Smith, you need guys like that to get elected into the Hall of Fame. And then there's going to be others. Hines Ward, Anquan Bolden. Next year it's Larry Fitzgerald, who we would expect would get in initially, right? First year on the ballot. Things are watered down with the Hall of Fames. Okay, baseball, this year's class, it doesn't feel like it once was, but we keep on making exceptions to the rule, right? And more get in, regardless of where you look, whether it's in Springfield, Massachusetts, whether it's in Toronto, talking about the Basketball and Hockey Hall of Fame. Respectfully, we stayed in Canton a couple of years ago when Tony Baselli got in, and we had free tickets to go. I have no interest in visiting the Hall of Fame. I didn't visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but I love the idea of the Hall of Fame. I love the conversation of the Hall of Fame. Who should be in, who should not be in. I think Jacksonville's got a real legitimate shot of 3 more additions. Fred Taylor's going to have to deal with Frank Gore next year. I thought all along that Freddie T would probably be in 2026. Right now, with the first-year candidates, I think it's going to be close to impossible for him to get in. It's going to be 2027 at the closest, right? Just my opinion. Jimmy Smith, it's going to take years. You need more of these wide receivers to get in. It's as simple as that. Tom Coughlin is also going to get in someday. Any current Jaguars? Well, if they're not named Brian Thomas Jr., who's played all of 17 games, right now I would say overwhelming. No. Any former Jaguars? Jalen? Calais? Although it was very brief, that's probably it, right? I mean, I guess if Torrey Holt does get in, he's a Jag, played the final year of his career in Jacksonville. I've always kind of looked at Hall of Fame as the guys you draft, guys you groom, guys you develop. And anyway, I just want to get that out of the way on a very busy Wednesday. All right, we'll go through the general manager search here momentarily. A veteran has been added to the list. That's John Robinson. Josina Anderson commented on that earlier today. She did not pop forward with the name. Jordan Schultz did, sent me a text a few hours ago. Also, Trey Brown, the Bengals senior personnel executive, has gone through an interview. It looks like there's going to be 9 or 10 different candidates who are going to interview. That is going to include a few more this week. And then next week, that'll continue. Those are virtual interviews. Then it'll be interesting to see who gets the call back, who gets the in-house interview at the Miller Electric Center. That place is going to be busy. We're going to be over there tomorrow. Looking forward to meeting the coordinators. A really big day. There's been a couple of interviews with Anthony Campanile, and he's come out and he said, yeah, I know what scheme we're going to run, but he didn't say it. And it was kind of bizarre. He's like, yeah, I know exactly what we're going to run, but there was never a response to the question like, can you tell us what you're going to run? No, that's big. That's a secret. And I got to believe that that's going to come out tomorrow, or at least the attempt to get that information out of Anthony Campanile will be tomorrow. Remember, he had tremendous success as a run game coordinator and a linebackers coach in a 4-3 style of defense in Green Bay, but also learned and really cut his teeth in a 3-4 style defense. Vic Fangio, 42 dropbacks on Sunday by Mahomes, not one blitz. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's right out of the New York Giants playbook when they defeated New England twice. How did they defeat New England? You guessed it. Let's rush 4, let's drop 7. Not one blitz. And then you look at a guy like Brian Flores, who we also learned under. Of course, Flores, most of his work spent in New England, but he was in Miami when Campanile was there. More of a heavy blitz package. So here's my one promise. I don't care if they crush it. I am going to say to myself all day long, don't overdo it, Ballou. Don't overdo it. Because, again, around here, coordinators change all the time. Coaches change all the time. And it was a year ago that I walked in here thinking that Ryan Nielsen was a star in the making. I'm never afraid to admit when I'm wrong. He nailed the press conference. He told the local media absolutely everything they wanted to hear. And for what it's worth, 2 years prior to that, I thought that Mike Caldwell was going to walk in here and take with him a great deal of the Todd Bowles Tampa defense, the Tampa 2 style. Were we going to see these blitzes coming from all of these different angles? Were we going to see a hybrid defense where you never really knew what to expect? We didn't see anything close to that. It was very bland. It was very vanilla, albeit the Mike Caldwell defenses were certainly better than what we saw a year ago involved with Ryan Nielsen. But it's going to be a real interesting day. Yeah, no doubt about that. We'll meet the offensive coordinator as well. Of course, when you talk about Grant Udinski, the understanding is that he's not calling plays. That is going to be Liam Coen. Still has major responsibilities. So it's going to be a pretty fun early morning at the Miller Electric Center. Already looking forward to tomorrow night's show. but we got things rolling right here on a Wednesday. Okay. I always get the listeners involved. No one is more interactive with listeners than we are on Into the Night. Several ways that you can do it. YouTube has been absolutely popping as of late. All the YouTube viewers, good to have you with us. Let me tip my cap to you. The text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Twitter blowing up. Facebook. I went on Facebook last night. A couple thousand people checked us out on Facebook on a Tuesday night, which is absolutely just heartwarming to the truth teller. So thank you. No matter where you do follow us, it is always appreciated. But yesterday, you stood up, as you often do, and it was thrown out by a draftee. It was thrown out by a draftnik that Deebo Samuel could possibly be on the move here to Duval, and you just shut that down. I mean, you shut that down like the A-Train. You shut that down like me trying to drive the hoop circa 1976 against Artis Gilmore. And he put that thing in like the fifth row, okay? Not one response yesterday said, yes, I like the idea of trading number 5 for number 11, switching things up with San Francisco, adding a bona fide number 2 wide receiver here in Deebo Samuel. It was unanimous. No way. Not happening. And I appreciate it. These are the type of things we do in the early to mid part of February. Well, today it's T. Higgins. Odds 40-1. Way, way down. I mean, there's 15, 16, 17 teams ahead of Jacksonville. The reason why I raised T. Higgins, I get the question daily. Could they sign T. Higgins? Could you renew this relationship that we saw at Clemson? What would Trevor Lawrence really be like with a big wide receiver? You know, I'm talking a 6'4". I got to look at the very latest with T. Higgins, but I'm under the impression he's around 6'4". Always the big body for Trevor Lawrence has been a conversation piece. And there's been some big bodies in here, but we're talking about big bodies who can run, big bodies who can catch, big bodies who can be productive. Not training camp guys that unfortunately waste a lot of our airtime, and then when it's all said and done, they don't contribute at all during the 17-game season. So we'll make our way towards that a little bit later on in the program. All right, a couple of things I do want to get out, and believe it or not, I got some good news tonight, some positive news on the Jaguars. All right, I'm going to save that for a little bit because I was so incredibly, what am I looking for here? So shocked by a bit that I read today, a piece that I read today on your Jaguars that, and let me be kind, okay? Even the worst of the worst, right? Jason LaConfora, whoever it may be, there's nothing worse than media wars. I'm not trying to create a media war. That's too self-absorbed. That's too much of look at me. But we have seen it since day one where there are members of the media who just don't know anything about this football team, right? And typically it's Rick Stroud 2 weeks ago, introduction of Liam Coen. Rick Stroud rolls out of here and says the stadium situation is unsettled. This team could still move to London. Typically, it's just stuff like that where it's kind of a shock movement. It's kind of a Jacksonville's not it. It's not an NFL city. They're on the move. It's always the same thing. You've heard about it forever. Thankfully, you've trusted the local media. The local media forever has been like, that's not going to happen. Wayne Weaver's not going to move this organization. When Shad Khan bought the franchise, he told everyone who would listen, it's going to remain here in Jacksonville. Now, the mayor, Donna Deegan, the deal's done. You're never going to have to worry about that again. Okay? That's set in stone. It's going to be complicated for a bit as they redo the stadium and they build downtown. It's going to be a nuisance, okay? And we know in a couple of years there's going to be some games played on the road, either in Orlando or in Gainesville. But for the most part, when the national media writes about the Jaguars, it's just that. It's a shot from the hip. Typically, for those who put in the effort, for those who put in the work, right, and they write about the team on the field, they have a decent idea as to actually what is going on. Okay, Jordan Schultz I referenced earlier, Albert Breer, who we have on. I was talking about it with Hayes and Frank. Pete Prisco, obviously very informed as to what is going on with this football team. Today's article is one of the most hilarious things I have read in quite some time. It's the Jaguars primer, and it's on Yahoo. All right, and I go to Yahoo Daily, the Jaguars page, because there is, no matter what is written on the Jaguars, I'm going to read. Okay, some stuff is better than others. That's the media. Some sports talk show hosts are better than others. Some beautiful people locally here on TV are better than others. Okay, that's just the way things are. Writers, I have a great deal of appreciation for, especially nowadays where, the days of the lengthy columns and the days of the a couple of thousand words, aren't they gone? I don't want to offend the younger audience. I remember I made that mistake a couple of years ago, and you people came after me with knives and untrimmed nails and what have you. When Trevor had that address, I think it was in The Athlete. Is that still even around? Where it was a publication based on football players or athletes of any sport who would write about their journey. And I kind of made a smart-ass comment at the time. I said, I know that Generation Z won't get through it because it was like 3 paragraphs long. But that's kind of true in a way. Today's stories, I got to believe, and I'm not a writer. I've done some writing over the years, but it's never been my expertise. I got to believe today, if you are a writer, the message from the editor is less is more, because the attention span just goes away, right? Am I wrong here? I mean, I'm asking. 641-1010. I read every night. I love to read. I'm a big fan. Is it already 6:19? Did someone fast forward that clock? Is it really 6:19?
It's 6:19 on my phone.
Are you kidding me? I haven't even had an opportunity to get into this yet. All right, I'm going to have to tease you. This is not by design. This is a bogey on my part. Okay? I mean, that was like Saturday. I was 49 yards out, laying 2 on a par 5. I ended up with a bogey, 4 shots over 59 yards. Terrible short game. That's what happens when you don't practice. That's what happens when you don't play a lot of golf. But I guess I'm going to have to leave that right there and keep it for when we get things rolling here in just a minute. But I will say this. It is a little bit not self-serving because I'm not a writer, but it's a little bit of a pat on the back for colleagues of mine who it feels like the media only gets it when something goes wrong. Why aren't you guys breaking stories? Why is well, that's because the national media, the information guys, were connected to Trent Baalke. Okay? That's because the information guys, the national guys, get the information from the player's agent. Okay? That's the way that it works. That's the way that it has always worked. So anyway, I do want to come back and spend a couple of moments on that. I think you'll be absolutely fascinated by just the language that is used, the terms that are used, just how incredibly wrong this whole piece is when we do return in just a couple of minutes. But I do want to tell you, as we get things started, 4th year, and a happy birthday for Shmunez Vision. And I met with the brass the other day. This would be a good brass. Dr. Shmunez, Dr. Hunt, both Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. Neo Shmunez. Can't believe they've been together now for 4 years. I've known Dr. Neil Schmunez forever, but they put this thing together. This is going to be their 4-year birthday. Do you realize that they have saved patients now more than $1 million in cataract fees because they feel it's unnecessary to go through some of the equipment, process, whatever it may be. Some out there are going to charge you the ultimate. They're going to make you go through the extreme because it is their business. It's not always the right way to go about it. And that is a major difference here with Schmunez Vision. The most expensive is not always the best. Of course, they're advanced. They have all that equipment as well, but it's not always necessary. That's the point I'm trying to make, okay? They save their folks money, and that's important. It's important now. It's important at any time. I want you to check them out. Their website is phenomenal. Let's go to Schmunez Vision. You can also get testimonials from everyone at Schmunez Vision on Instagram. So go ahead and do that when you get an opportunity. All right, John Oesher at 7. We'll check money tonight with Raphael Esparza out in Las Vegas. We'll get ready for Torrey Pines Part 2, right? The Genesis. Unfortunately, because of the fires in Los Angeles, Riviera, not part of this year's PGA Tour, so they're going back to San Diego. We'll do that later in the show. But I want to come back and read this to you. I want to keep you here. The 3 points that he makes are spectacular, in my view. Want to get yours, and it's coming up next.
Proud to serve sports radio to those who proudly protect our country. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Visit Monahan Jewelers now through Valentine's Day for savings on all GIA certified diamonds and discounts store-wide up to 40% off. And interest-free financing on all purchases. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. Monahan's has it all. We're not a chain store. We're your local family jeweler since 1977 with a world-class inventory of fine jewelry and diamonds and gemstones available in any size. Support your local family jeweler now through Valentine's with huge savings in our inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, it's kind of cooling down right now. I love opening my windows up this time of year. If you're looking to upgrade your windows in your home, I want you to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Ask about their latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows and doors, rated #1 by Consumer Reports in all 3 main window categories. You want quality, style, and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. That's Pella Windows and Doors online at PellaJacks.com.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
My name is Paul. I'm 58 years old. I lost 45 pounds thanks to the Awaken 180 program. Before Awaken 180, I was drinking Pepto out of the bottle at night to go to sleep from heartburn. I was struggling getting up and down the stairs, like tired all the time. I didn't know that's how it wasn't supposed to be. I just accepted that's how my life is. And then one day I said, it doesn't have to be this way. I made a decision to change my life and I chose Awaken 180, and that was the best choice I ever made. I needed support. I'm a person who needed support. Awaken 180 provided that support for me. They changed my relationship with food. I changed it with their guidance. That was the whole thing. I had to change my relationship with food. And I learned how to eat. I learned healthy fats. I learned all about sugar and what it does to me. And I just learned a new way to live.
A change Paul and I both needed, and we received with Awaken 180. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for the Blue Crab Crab House. February means the Mardi Gras menu returns to the Blue Crab Crab House. Gumbo, shrimp Orleans, blackened redfish, appetizers, dessert, and more. This includes, of course, their regular menu where you get crabs from the Alaskan waters, the Canadian waters, the Southern Georgia waters. It's only at the Blue Crab Crab House. Doors open at 4:30, San Jose, and of course, Jewington Creek Road.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the self-titled LP, it's Bad Company. Singing about Bad Company with the name Bad Company. Has any other band been able to pull that off? A threesome. It's a very important day for me, and I'm a little sensitive here about it because I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to screw it up. You know what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is? They got like 19 Trent Baalke's making their decisions. And they're going to put in Cyndi Lauper and whoever else is on the list. So let me look at this real quick. I've already really messed up this entire program tonight by really teasing this this preview. And I've yet to get to it. I was just way too long-winded at the beginning of the program. I can't believe there's actually people historically in talk radio who like struggle to get through it. How long to our next break? That's never been a problem. You know what I'm saying, Dylan? I mean, I got massive problems. I mean, unlimited, particularly health problems. But
yeah, I haven't been in the business that long, but I feel like that's usually like something in the summer. They're like, it's July, there's nothing to talk about. Hey, that's how most people.
Let me tell you something.
Business.
If there's nothing to talk about, then you need to get your ass out of this business. You better find something to talk about. You're blessed. You're lucky. Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey.
She's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
These are the nominees.
Okay.
Okay. Chubby Checker. Joe Cocker. She came in through the bathroom window. Billy Idol. You can go for some Billy Idol. Right? Reading murder books, trying to stay hip. Joy Division and New Order. I mean, okay. Cyndi Lauper. How cool would that be to have, ladies and gentlemen, just have her come up and sing Time After Time? You know, and then put it in there right next to Black Sabbath. Is it Mana? Who in the hell is Mana? M-A-N-A. Oasis? Aren't those the brothers who hate each other? How do you hate your brother? Well, Ballou, have you ever heard of the Kinks? Have you ever heard of Creedence Clearwater Revival? Have you ever heard of the Everly Brothers? Have you ever heard of the Beach Boys? Outkast? We love Outkast around here. Phillips Highway Stroll, brought to you by Outkast. Fish. Fish has got a phenomenal following, right? Everyone just gets stoned to the bejesus bells, puts on Fish. Man, people who get stoned to Fish, they have no problems. Soundgarden, all right. And White Stripes. So there you go. We'll keep you updated.
Mana is a Mexican pop rock band.
I guarantee they get in. Right now, Cleveland's Trent Baalke saying, screw Bad Company. Let's put Mana in.
4 Grammys, 8 Latin Grammy Awards. We've got a couple other awards.
Right now, Cleveland's Gene Smith is saying, screw Billy Idol. Let's put in Mariah Carey. All right, let's get to this piece. How you doing tonight over there, by the way?
I'm
I haven't
good,
even
man.
checked in with you.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. The pollen's kind of kicking my tail a little bit, but...
Oh, you one of those who...
oh, yeah.
You bothered by allergies?
The asthma, allergies. Yeah, I got to take my allergy pills when it gets this time, and if not, I'm hurting. But I'm hanging in there.
I have a recommendation for you, which will clear out any allergy. You go to the Blue Crab House. You get dollar steamed oysters. You take that first oyster, okay? You butter that bad boy up with an extra dose of horseradish. You put on it as well a little bit of hot sauce, and they have a variety of hot sauces at the Blue Crab House. You take it in and you chew it, but as you chew it, and I know that this doesn't always apply to a lot of people, you got to keep your mouth closed as you do that and allow the horseradish and the hot sauce to do its part. It'll work its way through the gums, the throat, the esophagus. Heck, I've had it go all the way down to the vas deferens. And then it comes out your nostrils. And it will clear any type of sinus activity that you have. It only costs you $1, buck a oyster. How does that sound?
That sounds a lot better than the pills I buy at whatever, CVS or Publix. We'll try it out.
Ian Castleberry, we're right off of San Jose, ladies and gentlemen. San Jose connects with Julington Creek Road. It is the best restaurant in Jacksonville. It is the Blue Crab House, open until 9 o'clock tonight. Ian Castleberry, probably a heck of a guy. Okay? Wish him the very best in his career. But here's my advice to you, Ian. Don't ever write about the Jaguars again, okay? Because this is a F. Here's his recommendation as far as his offseason primer, okay? Here's what he says. The first thing the Jaguars need to do with their interior offensive line and need, re-signing Brandon Sheriff should be a priority, okay? Well, congratulations, Ian. You were the only person in the 904 who has said that re-signing a 34-year-old, aging, often injured right guard is a priority. It's not going to happen. Number 2, bringing back Andre Sisco at safety because the Jaguars are thin in the secondary is another move that the Jaguars should pursue. He was benched, Ian. He hung out with Gabe Davis. He was overfed last year. The only thing Andre Cisco did in the final year of his contract in Duval was eat and go to the bathroom. And by the looks of him, he ate a heck of a lot more than he went to the bathroom. Number 3, what Jacksonville needs to do during the offseason, and I'm reading this, with Brenton Strange moving up the depth chart at tight end, Evan Ingram is expendable. Okay? There you go. Those are his 3 points. I did this today, not as a benefit to me, not even as a benefit to this radio station. I did it more for the scribes. I did it more for the people who have been beat writers, for people who, I don't want to belittle what I do. I don't want to belittle what the television people do. But there's always been the writers and everyone else, right? And the world of writers has left us. There's not many that we still envy, right? It seems like anyone can become a writer now. You know, it began with blogs, and then it became, Twitter and this and that getting it right was replaced by getting it first. And then if you get it first and you're wrong, there's no end game. There's no penalty for being wrong. You can just shake your head and say, I thought it was the case. It was not the case. Let's move along. But writers have always worked really hard. If I was a writer in this town and I read this article, I would be absolutely BS, because it's so easy for anyone in the media to pick up the phone and contact anyone. Most good media people respond. I'll tell you the only example of those who did not. I contacted 3 different people in Green Bay. I don't know what's going on in Green Bay. Maybe it was a 2-for-1 over at Applebee's or something like that, because I've been to Green Bay, and there's no good restaurants in Green Bay. There's no great places to hang out. People stay in Green Bay when training camp begins, and they get out of there the day the season ends, right? Those crusty writers didn't respond to me. But for the most part, around the league, the media in general is going to respond to another member of the media. You could have picked up the phone and talked with anyone, or you could have read their material if you're going to write an article on it. So I want to begin with this tonight. Again, this is another case of the national media sending this out on Yahoo for everyone around the NFL to read. And if you don't know anything about the Jaguars, but you were just trying to, educate yourself on what all 32 teams are doing, as we're 3 weeks away from the combine, we're, less than a month away now from the accrued year, or the start of the league year, which officially begins, I want to say, on March 14th. Remember, shorter days in the calendar month of February. And we're 70 days away from the NFL draft. If you just want to kind of give yourself the very latest as to what teams are doing, and you read this, you would think the biggest things that this organization needs to do, the top things that they need to do right now, re-sign Brandon Sheriff, re-sign Andre Cisco, and cut Evan Ingram. That is what you got. You want to respond to that? By all means, please bring it. 641-1010. Brought to you by the good folks at Lifetime Enclosures. All right, when I come back, another piece here today, which is the exact opposite. It is flattering. When's the last time Jacksonville was put ahead of everyone else? 7 different coaching hires, as we know, during the last transition within pro football. This one has your Jaguars far and away as the best decision that has been made when it comes to this. What is this? Well, we'll keep you right here for it.
Another season of NASCAR play-by-play starts Sunday.
Wins 7 minutes in the Daytona 500. Tightened up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and Maxie's Mechanics.
Winning the Daytona 500
on your NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Florida Home AC wants to make sure you're super cool when things heat up and toasty warm when the temps drop. Indoor comfort for you all year long is what they're going for. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com to score great deals on an AC tune-up and keep the temperature perfect.
Is your office productivity running at full speed? Advanced Business Solutions has the solution with Xerox copiers. Whether you need high-volume printing, scanning, or secure document management, Xerox copiers deliver efficiency, quality, and innovation. With features like cloud integration and mobile printing, Xerox is perfect for any modern office. Let ABS help you streamline your workflow. Veteran-owned Advanced Business Solutions.
Advanced Business Solutions.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 12, 1982, ice hockey legend Wayne Gretzky scores his 153rd point of the season, breaking the NHL record in a game against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. Are you ready to sell your home? I got an easy game plan. Call Chad and Sandy, the only agents I would call to sell my home. The economy is showing positive signs. It might be time to sell, and your home will get you the price you want with Chad and Sandy. It's easy to find out. Get friendly expert help from the Jacksonville agents who eat, drink, and sleep local real estate. Call agents Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. Guess what? You don't need to. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. But it comes down to the Chad and Sandy guarantee. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. All problems have disappeared. Pete in Lakeshore says, I was in a pickle. I needed to cash out on a rental property fast. I was struggling to rent. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio, called. I had an offer for full asking price within days. Join the local success stories by calling Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or going to chadandsandy.com.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. Are you tired of wrestling with your old shower curtain? Then say goodbye to the curtain chaos and hello to a new frameless shower enclosure. Wago Glass is clear, classy, and won't stick to you like a toddler at bedtime. Plus, it makes your bathroom look bigger and brighter. Upgrade your shower experience and step into style. Call me at Baker Glass and get ready to love your new glass shower enclosure. Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Ready tonight's away the clock, then it's Hacker Nation tomorrow, 10 a.m. The Miller Electric Center, an opportunity to meet the new offensive and defensive coordinators. Very excited about that. So we'll have fresh material coming up tomorrow night. It's all about scheme to me. They're not going to talk personnel unless they know guys are returning. I'm sure there'll be an opinion on Trevor and Brian Thomas Jr. and Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. But I guess Liam Coen has alluded to the fact as to what he is going to run, or I guess I should term it as the expectation of what he is going to run. And just how different it has been. And it's going to get to my next conversation right here that's coming up in 30 seconds. But to me, it's all about the defense. And I know that is completely against everything that I believe in, right? I am pounding the table for offense. Pounding it. And every mock draft that I see is defense, 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 defense. It's it's mind-wrecking, okay? Because my thought process the entire time has been, you have invested so much money in a guy that you believe is a difference maker, a game changer, a generational piece, and in my mind, you've wasted 4 years. Okay, you can't get back those 4 years. The dude's 22 and 38. It's not all his fault. It's not. It's not even close to being all his fault. But the record shows 4 years, 22 and 38. 7 missed games. 7 or 8 missed games. 2 concussions. 2 non-throwing shoulder surgeries. Several other injuries. You've got to fix your offense. Tomorrow, however, the intrigue for me is, what are you going to run on defense? What is your scheme going to be like? And to be honest with you, even though we want them to be as transparent as possible, there's really no reason to come out and say, oh, yeah, we're going to be a 4-3 and we're going to do this, or we're going to be a 3-4 and we're going to... There's no need to say that on what will be, February 13th. We're sure as heck going to try. And truth be known, maybe he doesn't know yet until they make changes with the roster, right? Who could possibly be cut off that defense? Ronald Darby could be cut off that defense. Could Devon Hamilton be cut off that defense? We just talked about Andre Sisco. I don't believe he's coming back. Are they going to extend Trayvon Walker? I don't believe Trayvon is the guy that would hold out, but if you don't get a deal done, what if Aiden Hutchinson gets done in Detroit for monopoly-type money? And Trayvon is left there dangling, and all of a sudden he becomes a camp holdout. Could happen. I'm just thinking out loud here. Point is maybe Anthony Campanile doesn't know what type of defense he's going to run yet. You got to get through the draft and free agency before that. You want a positive piece? I got one for you. This is it was Bleacher Report. No, it's SB Nation. 3 authors coined it, and it was the 7 new NFL coaches ranked on how likely they are to immediately reach the playoffs. Number 7, no surprise at all, hired this week, Kellen Moore in New Orleans. They got major problems. They have no quarterback, and they got salary cap issues. Number 6, Brian Schottenheimer to Dallas. Maybe the most mysterious hire. Still can't believe Dallas didn't make a major splash. We saw Schotty here a few years ago as a passing game coordinator in Jacksonville. Of course, he played on the Spurrier, right on the Warfel, Schotty, years ago. Number 5, Pete Carroll, Las Vegas. The rehashed older coach. Winless job in Las Vegas. Number 4, Aaron Glenn, New York. Okay. Not bad. They're real high on him right now. Remember, New York, I mention it all the time, they've gone 14 consecutive years without even making it to the playoffs. Number 3, Mike Vrabel in New England. They do like Drake May, but there's some issues right now in New England. There were locker room issues in New England a year ago. Number 2, Ben Johnson, Chicago. Brutal division. Maybe the toughest of the 8. Number 1, when it comes to what team with a new coach to immediately reach the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Liam Coen. Let me read to you what he wrote. Again, these are 3 different authors who put this together. Yada, yada, yada. Stretch to say 2024, the Jaguars were a talented team undermined by coaching, the lack of preparation, and execution on offense was evident every week. That is so harmful. I mean, just listen to what was said there. A talented team undermined by coaching, lack of preparation, and execution on offense. It was evident every week. When the first 3 quarters, the Jaguars looked like they found out about a football game a few hours before it started. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, how many times have I lost my mind talking about game after game after game after game after game? This offense is in a coma. This offense is asleep. This offense does nothing to start football games every single week. Glad they write about it. They say 3 quarters worth. Final thoughts for the break. However, with the new coach, Liam Coen and I think the Jaguars are one of the better young offensive minds in the NFL. His ability to adapt and retool his offense around what his players do best was the embodiment of the 2024 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love that. He's got a different talent base in Jacksonville than he had in Tampa. But they spelled it out for you. That is the definition of Liam Coen in his very early NFL career. Realizing, understanding what your players do well, and then run it. Not everyone does that. They implement their system and they say, you're a pro, learn it and run it. You can't coach that way. Every personnel is different on every single team. You have to find out what works and what does not work. It takes incredible thought and coaching with every single play. That is the hope, especially early on for Liam Coen, is that he can recognize what this team can do and that he can recognize what this team cannot do. And if so, regardless of W's or L's, I think you'll be excited about where the team is headed. It's a very good piece here. So how's that, man? Sharing a little bit of good news with you as we complete our first hour. Speaking of good news, ladies and gentlemen, John Oesher, Jaguars.com. He joins us next.
He is our high school sports muscle.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Ryan the Hacker Green.
We're going to do something different.
Hacker After Dark.
A little more down to earth.
Right after Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
This is Dr. George Bari, inviting you to look online at BariOrthopedics.com for the latest in medical advancements when it comes to getting you back to full joint health. After studying under Dr. James Andrews, I know proper diagnosis is the first key to treatment, and educating the patient is the fastest path to recovery. Whether it's chronic back pain, nagging arthritis, or necessary joint replacement, we're here to serve you in the best possible way. We are Bari Orthopedics and online at BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Yo, E.T. here, and don't let Valentine's Day sneak up on you. Plan the perfect romantic getaway in Clay County. Stay at one of Clay's beautiful Airbnbs or in luxury at Club Continental, a boutique riverfront retreat, and treat your special someone to an unforgettable dinner at the Hilltop Restaurant. Trust me on this one. Clay County is the perfect spot for romance. Start planning today at exploreclay.com and tag those romantic moments with hashtag ExploreClay.
Don't ignore plumbing leaks. They can lead to mold and mildew or structural damage and drain your wallet. So when you have a leak and can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Calling all poker players. The action is heating up at Best Bet Orange Park, and you don't want to miss the Greater Orange Park Open with a massive $50,000 guarantee. This $200 no-limit hold'em tournament kicks off with 4 starting flights on February 21st and 22nd, leading up to the final day on February 23rd at 12 o'clock. The stakes are high, the excitement is real, and the prize money is waiting for you. Don't miss your shot. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. Free for life. Just by saying that, you already know I'm referring to Awaken 180. They're the only company providing it. Fast, proven weight loss, and then keep it off thanks to free support for life. That's Awaken180weightloss.com.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey, this is Bert Cannon with the First Coast YMCA. Youth sports at the Y can help nurture your future athlete's potential and experience the joy of being a kid. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, and fun environment with basketball, soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, elite skills training, and more. Best of all, participation in Legacy Youth Sports League is free with your family membership. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you
doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
If you're cooking for your sweetheart this weekend, Southern Steer Butcher has you covered. An easy-choose Valentine's Day special menu with the best meats in town. Full V-Day flyer at southernsteer.com.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Need cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash, and they're ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. And gold market prices are at a record high. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Oesher. Oh No's. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, we got a little bit of controversy as we begin the 7 o'clock hour. Today, the nomination is in for Bad Company, the self-titled album Bad Company, which produced the hit Bad Company, again by the London-based band Bad Company. Someone told me that Big Country, off of the album Big Country, had the song Big Country, although it's technically called In a Big Country. I'm going to allow it, because this song takes me way back into the 1980s, and it was actually a pretty good riff. But I was just looking for that threesome, and right now we have Bad Company and Big Country. You can add to that. Hit us on the text line, 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Hello, John Oesher.
Oh, do I have one for you, Rick?
Uh-oh.
Oh, do I have one? First of all, Big Country, fantastic, circa 1982 or so.
Yep. 83.
And,
yep.
I don't know how many people know this, but a band I love called The Alarm, whose lead singer was Mike Peters, who's now going through some pretty serious cancer, has sung with Big Country a little bit, very similar voices and styles. But in reference to your contest, Talk Talk, off of the album Talk Talk, a song called Talk Talk. Again, all you got to do to me is Talk Talk.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
that's the same era, but it was definitely probably not as big as those songs. Bad Company is going to be your biggest hit among your listeners. But Talk Talk, Talk Talk, Talk Talk, Rick.
For decades, John, I wanted to be, one of those graveyard disc jockeys who smokes 3 packs of Chesterfields a night, just so I could say off of the self-titled LP. Right. I mean, that's like a DJ's dream.
I think Talk Talk gets it because you have 6 talks in there with that.
All right, let's get straight to it. We're looking forward to meeting the coordinators tomorrow. Is this going to be one of those deals where we're not – I mean, it's all about scheme, at least for me defensively. I think we know or have an understanding what Liam Coen is going to do offensively. And I think the best part – let's start here. I think the best part about what we expect from Liam Coen is that he's going to try to run this offense based on the personnel that the Jaguars have.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to have any mystery about who's calling plays, Rick. So
yeah, no doubt about that.
So at least we don't have to talk about that, and that's clear. And yeah, as you look more at Liam Coen and sort of what they're going to do, I think what's interesting, and Bucky Brooks and I were talking about this today with JP Stradrick on the Huddle Up podcast. It's interesting that he's kind of got this young vibe, right? And with the young vibe, you think about, the RPO and big throwing downfield. And I think he's a lot more about he's going to try to run the ball. And I think he's more old school. He's a young guy with old school mentality. And I guess I hadn't really grasped the fullness of that until I started thinking more about McVay and what they do with the Rams, what he did with the Bucs. They're certainly going to utilize personnel, but I think you're going to see more out of the Shanahan, McVay emphasize the run. So I think that's what you're going to be talking about. I don't know how much Yadinsky's going to go deep in. He's a young guy. He's 29, hadn't done a lot of media yet. I would sort of expect him to be a little guarded with concepts like scheme.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't really done this before. I'm sure he'll get into it. He'll know what to say. But I don't know that you're going to grab a lot of, inside scoop. This may be one of the first times he's really dealt with the media a whole lot.
Yeah. We've all discussed Anthony Campanile, and very successful this year as a run game coordinator, linebacker coach, a 4-3 scheme, incredible background learning. Look at Vic Fangio did Sunday, not one blitz and 42 dropbacks by Mahomes. Also learned under Flores. What do you believe? What type of defense? Let's say he had 11 Hall of Famers on the defense. What type of defense do you think he wants to run?
Well, I think you're going to get, zone-based. And it's so hard in this day and age because we're still talking about old concepts, zone, man, and 4-3 and 3-4. When I talked to Anthony Campanile last week, the first thing he said when I started talking to him about scheme, he said, look, I know where you're going with it, but 4-3, 3-4, we're really hybrid. He said, I guess if you could call us this, it's going to be 4-3 with 3-4 spacing. So I think you're going to get a lot of verbiage like that tomorrow because these guys just don't talk in the way that a lot of us talk about defenses anymore.
Yeah.
But it's going to be trying to keep eyes on the ball in pass defense and trying to create turnovers, maybe cover two concepts in that sense, because everybody knows zone defense, you're trying to create turnovers because you're looking at the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an interesting guy because the Packers did some very interesting things, very innovative things with trying to keep play defense, play zone defense, play hard against the run, and trying to force teams into situations where they're throwing into zone and therefore creating turnovers. So I'll be interested to see how much he talks about it tomorrow. As you know, Rick, these guys say scheme-wise about as much as they have to get us to shut up.
Yeah.
Because they don't really want to give away a whole lot. But I like Campanile from when I talked to him last week. The biggest thing he said when I was talking to him about scheme, we were kind of going round and round. He goes, look, Dad, I get that people want to talk about this. But for him, the biggest thing is he doesn't care if he blitzes, doesn't care about the play call. He's about the relationships with the players. And he said, basically, once you get beyond people and your relationships with the people as a coach, you're talking about a lot of BS.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really a guy who's going to try to connect the players, get them believing in what he's doing. And from everything I've heard, this is a guy that when players start asking around about Anthony Campanile, they talk about what a great guy is. They love playing for this guy, with this guy. So I think he's going to have a lot of respect in the locker room coming into it.
You know, I wonder about the front seven, and again, the 4-3-3-4, I think we make, and I make a big deal about it. I think certain people are so enthralled with it, and then you end up playing nickel defense, and
sure,
that gets thrown out anyway. But, you know, let's just say it's a 3-4, and it's big bodies. You know, it's Armstead, it's Mason, it's Hamilton, and then you look at the linebackers, but all of a sudden, you know, you got five guys, right? You got Walker, you got Allen, you got Aloakon, you got Lloyd, you got Miller. It's an unfair question, but I'll ask it anyway. Is there a chance you remove a big guy, you have those five athletic guys on the field, maybe you put Walker on the line of scrimmage, and you have the four linebackers behind him? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think you're going to, it's going to be hard to know. And unfortunately, we've had so many of these conversations about new coordinators because we've had too many new coordinators around. We've had so many changes in coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So you sort of get used to talking about stuff. It's really hard because whatever they say, I've learned that you're not going to know until the first couple of regular season games what they're really doing. That was sort of the deal with Ryan Nielsen last year. All of a sudden, the first couple of games, like, okay, that's what they're doing. they're rotating a lot, right? So, but I do think there's going to be a major emphasis on trying to get Trayvon Walker in the right spot, Devin Lloyd in the right spots, the guys who matter, get them in the right spots regardless of how they played before. I do kind of wonder, are you going to see a lot of, trying to get Trayvon with his hand on the ground a little bit while also getting him in space at the same time? He's proven he can do both. Do you try to move him around a little bit? You move him to the inside. Josh Allen seems better standing up. I think Trayvon would be really good down. It's hard to envision a scheme where those guys where Trayvon's down and Josh is up, because they've both kind of been down or up in the last couple of years based on scheme at the same time. So I'm fascinated by your question. I don't have a great answer because I don't want to sit there and tell people I pretend I don't know how they're going to use these guys. But I think it's a huge issue how to use Trayvon and Josh best with what they can do, because they're such good players. But I do think that how they use Trayvon Walker up, down, how they move him around, I just think with apologies to Josh, I think Trayvon's the key to the whole thing. I think he's the best player on the defense.
Final moment with John Oesher. Read everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. Of course, he is the senior writer, and we will meet the brand new coordinators tomorrow. That'll be at 10 o'clock at the Miller Electric Center. For me, the biggest hire, and I've been really outspoken about it, was the offensive line. And they bring in Sean Serrett. He comes over with Grant Yudinsky from Minnesota. I've done a little bit of homework on him, but most of it has been, once again, as an assistant offensive line coach. Have you been able to learn anything on him?
Not a lot. I'm looking forward to meeting him and getting an idea of what he is. I agree with you. I think he and the defensive line coach are the most important hires outside the coordinator, because realistically, this offensive line, at least 3 pieces are coming back, maybe 4. So it's going to be emphasis and coaching. When I say emphasis, I mean, from day one, Liam Coen is going to be telling these guys, hey, you're the guy. We've got to get more out of you. We have to get more run blocking. We have to be more physical. This hasn't been a very physical line yet. So how he gets that out of these guys is, it might be as important as the coordinators. I know that they will try to figure out how to get more power out of these guys, how to get more at the line of scrimmage in terms of drive, in terms of gaps. But I don't have a real feel for what the scheme's going to be, because I think there was a little bit of an emphasis from Liam Coen on, let's make sure that whatever scheme we use plays to these guys' strengths.
Yeah.
So I think the answer to your question is going to be decided when these guys really start meeting and grinding through tape on these guys, which until they get the GM hired, I'm not sure that Liam Coen can, delve into that enough for us to have answers.
Yeah.
I would expect that to be a huge topic when we talk to people at the combine in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and
I thought Liam, when he met with the writers exclusively, really answered that well. That they put together that gap type of blocking scheme, and then pads went on. It totally changed. I thought that was very interesting. So maybe we'll get a little hint as to what the offensive scheme is going to be like. But as far as the blocking scheme, that's kind of tough to determine until you're hitting. So that's going to be fascinating. Hey, leave us with this. The combine is 2.5 weeks away. Do you believe they'll have a general manager by then?
I do. I think what you'll probably see, I think they're trying to get all the preliminary interviews done this week. The pace has picked up. So I would guess they get the preliminaries done this week. Shad has said they want to get one done by the end of February. I would anticipate that happening. Probably, I don't know if the fans will meet him, meaning the media fans will meet him before the combine. Might be a deal where he's sort of making his debut up there. because it might bleed into next Thursday, Friday, early the next week once people are starting to arrive at the combine. But I would anticipate that would be my guess. All the timeline points to it getting done by very early in the combine, meaning Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, no doubt. John Oesher, Jaguars.com. Read everything there. Of course, updates daily, and that's going to be heavy tomorrow because at 10 a.m. we're going to meet both the brand new offensive and defensive coordinator, also Heath Farwell, the special teams coordinator. John, I'll see you over there tomorrow. Thank you.
Should be a fun day, Rick. Thanks, buddy.
There he goes. Breaking news here, and it's disappointing, in my opinion. This is from John Oesher. This is from John Shipley of Jaguars on SI. The Jaguars have parted ways with the head of their strength and conditioning coach, Cedric Scott. Cedric Scott, I was neighbors years ago with Cedric Scott when he was an assistant under Tom Myslinski, and I just think so highly of Cedric Scott as an individual, man. I just, this is too bad. It is. And, I get it. I've also been the one here who's been consistent about you got to get rid of these people who have been a part of a scenario where losing is accepted. There's a comfortableness with losing, okay? And Shad went on and said, I mean football directly, right? I don't mean logistics. I don't mean the PR. I don't mean, nutrition. I don't mean that. But Cedric Scott and strength and conditioning falls into the category of what I do mean. Okay? You're working with these football players every single day except for their off day on Tuesday. And the training regimen, the workout program, you have your fingerprints all over it. You need a new voice. You need a new direction. But this one hurts me a little bit because I know Cedric personally, and he is a fantastic guy. I hope he lands on his feet. I really do. It's a late firing here or parting of the ways. I hope he can latch on somewhere else, but I know he's got a young family, and that's the down. The greatness of being a coach is when you win, it's elation and you're paid well. The negativity of being a coach, and listen, being a radio broadcaster is the exact same deal. You lose your gig, if you want to continue in it, you got to go to a different city. So this came in again from John Shipley. Cedric Scott out. I would imagine the entire strength and conditioning program is out. I don't know that. It only says Cedric Scott, but he had survived a few general managers. He had survived a few head coaches. But that is not the case now with Liam Coen in. Again, Cedric Scott out. We got much more to do. Take you up until 8 o'clock right here on this Wednesday.
1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
The Dolphins float their boat west to extend their win streak against Central Arkansas. Tomorrow night at 7:30 on 1010 AM.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 12, 1982, ice hockey legend Wayne Gretzky scores his 153rd point of the season, breaking the NHL record in a game against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Chose C for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. Are you tired of wrestling with your old shower curtain? Then say goodbye to the curtain chaos and hello to a new frameless shower enclosure. Wago Glass is clear, classy, and won't stick to you like a toddler at bedtime. Plus, it makes your bathroom look bigger and brighter. Upgrade your shower experience and step into style. Call me at Baker Glass and get ready to love your new glass shower enclosure. Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Guys, Valentine's Day is coming. Don't run out of time. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside has fresh, beautiful flowers she'll love. Mention radio to get 10% off. They'll even customize the bouquet so it's unique to her. Jacksonville Flower Market on Beach and Southside.
Skilled trade jobs are booming, so begin your high-pay, high-demand career today through the Northeast Florida Builders Association. Their apprenticeship program provides paid training in some of the most highly sought-after skilled trades. Get paid while you train full-time in carpentry, electrical, HVAC, or plumbing. Plus, earn a 10% raise every year, and the classes are 100% tuition-free. Start your new career today and apply this week at nefpaapprenticeship.org.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the 2024 Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards. And it's easy to see why. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the new Durbin location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tiger Woods out. He was going to play, but he did lose his mom over the weekend, so he has taken himself out. Again, it's the Genesis, not at Riviera because of the fires in Los Angeles. It'll get underway tomorrow morning back at Torrey Pines for the second time in the last few weeks. So that is going to be the case, and quite a, you just look who's playing in this event. It is absolutely stacked right now. We'll have a couple of minutes on this coming up tomorrow night. We'll spend a few minutes talking about the PGA Tour. We're really getting into season here, but it's just been so incredibly busy with the Jaguars, and I understand that far and away that is the priority, and that'll be the headline again tomorrow. because we're going to begin, obviously, by having something for you on getting the opportunity to meet with both coordinators tomorrow. Brand new coordinators tomorrow. 4042, Rick goes on. It says, Rick, how come the Jacks media has blasted Trevor about when he said he'd take a hometown discount on his contract? I don't remember him saying that, did he? Excuse me. If there's any, I got to lay off those smokes, Dylan. I got to keep running to the parking lot during the break. If there's any quarterback in the NFL that is undeserving of their contract, it's Trevor. Do you know why no one came to his defense when he got hit? The players know that he's not worth that kind of money. They figured that as long as he plays average, we'll get him. All right, yada, yada, yada. He goes on to say, Joe Burrow is willing to move his money around. That is an interesting report that came out today. Best interest in the team. What about Trevor? His contract hasn't even kicked in yet. He's still on his rookie contract. Again, that was an extension. So it's yet to even, come into play. Let's allow that to be a part of the conversation. And I can tell by where you're going here. I mean, obviously, this is a hit piece on Trevor, and I get them nightly, okay? And I will continue to get them nightly. And all I will say about that is it's time. At the beginning of the show tonight, I was talking about how this organization has wasted 4 years of Trevor Lawrence's career. It's time. All right? Now, the issues and the problems, a lot of that is on Trevor. It's not nearly all on Trevor. Not even close. Okay? There's been so many other issues within this offense, but that needs to get fixed immediately. And, I hope that is going to be the case here under Liam Coen. I believe you're just talking about the offensive line having to get more physical. That is why he is gone. Yeah. That reeks at any position group more than any other, the offensive line, when you're not getting the job done. But again, he went from assistant to head and survived a lot of different changes, general manager changes and head coaching changes. I hope they can get a good one. I got to believe there's real good strength and conditioning coordinators out there. And, you coach high school related. You've bumped into strength and conditioning coordinators over the years. They're just like position coaches. They all have not totally different philosophies, but they're different from one another.
Yeah, high school is more of the head coach runs the strength and conditioning mostly. I mean, unless you're at like a big time school, like a private school where they can hire that, the head coach runs all of the stuff, at least, for a lot of schools here in the area. You have, like the last 10 years, we've had 3 different head coaches, and they all run their off-season programs differently. You have about 2.5 hours Monday through Friday to do it, and some are, want to be more outside and, be more, be in shape with like CrossFit. Some want to, just, meat potatoes and just be in the weight room. Everybody's kind of different in that way.
29-64, Trevor is not that guy. They never should have given him $275 million that soon. Well, as the host of this show, I said that nearly nightly. And just about every single one of you out there disagreed with me. Okay? Trust me, I'm not smiling. I don't bring it up often. Okay? I don't want to have to sit here in a couple of years and say, see, I told you so. That's not part of what I plan. I hope the light goes on for him. I do. I absolutely do. And most of you out there, I think, believe it's going to happen. I do sense many of you, though, when you do it, you have your fingers crossed, right? It's more of a hope than it's a given. we've seen some younger guys where all of a sudden, I mean, look at Jalen Hurts. He was benched during the national championship game, 5, 6, 7 years ago or whatever. He won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Right? If I began this, if I asked you in August, who would you rather have, Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence, most of you out there would have said Trevor Lawrence. Where are you going now? Now, there's always the excuse, well, Philly's got a better offensive line. Philly's got a much better defense. Philly has the best running back in the NFL. Philly has an outstanding wide receiver. They have 2 outstanding wide receivers. Philly has an outstanding tight end. I get it. There's always a way to add to it or take away from it.
There's always those outliers. Sam Darnold this year, Baker this year, Baker the last couple of years. But by and large, usually it's the quarterback that's drafted first round. You take him. He's the guy. You run with him.
We're in a couple of fun facts here, too, as well. They don't apply to what we're talking about, but getting some good stuff that is in fact coming into play. All right, 9404. Whomever that guy is said to keep sharing Cisco and Ingram is an asshat. Hire him and do the opposite. Out of the 3 that happen, the one that I think would be most realistic is cutting Ingram. I cannot see a scenario where they bring back Sheriff or bring back Cisco. No. Absolutely no. Cisco called out teammates last year, said guys were not playing hard. He was overweight. He was out of position. I still think he's going to command a big buck. Again, ask yourself this question. It's a tough one. We just talked about Lawrence, and it hasn't even kicked in yet. Who's the last Jaguar drafted player to re-sign who has come even close to making his money? If you're going to tell me Josh Hines-Allen, I'm going to laugh at you. Well, he had more pressures last year. And again, the outliers, as Dylan just mentioned, we can always make excuses. There was no interior push, right? There's always an excuse. There's always something else. But he hasn't lived up to it. Walker Little got hurt. He didn't live up to it. Tyson Campbell got hurt. He didn't have 1 interception. That's just the way it is. Trevor Lawrence, we saw what happened. And you don't do it based on that. But in my mind, that does come into play. No doubt about it. Now, let's see if we can grab 1 or 2 more here before we take our final break of the night. Let's look on YouTube here. Rick, did you trade the teal for green? What is it, Fly, Eagles Fly, or Duval? Yeah, I broke out a green shirt and green hat tonight. Someone also asked me if I'm trying to get a Mountain Dew sponsorship. Love it. That's my go-to, Diet Mountain Dew. Building the trenches, OLDL, sure. Jacksonville has the most draft picks of anyone. They have 10. And they got some really solid draft picks, too. I mean, this is what is really intriguing about this year's draft class, is that everything that we do and everything that we get into is about what Jacksonville is going to end up doing at number 5, right? They have number 5 and number 36. They have 2 third-round picks, 70 and 88. You should get 4 really good football players right there. 5, 36, 70, and 88. Destin Adams joined us last night. He said there's a lot of draft people that he has been talking to only have around 10 players who are first-round graded players. Jacksonville's going to get one of them at 5. They're going to get a first-round player. Okay? That does not mean that this is not a deep draft. This does not mean that you can't get good football players in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. What it means is that it's not top-heavy. with a lot of guys who were supposed to come in and be, and this part has always kind of driven me crazy when someone will say, oh, it's only a 5-player class. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's like that special draft lingo. And I'm like, how can you say it's only a 5-draft player class when you end up finding starters who become Pro Bowlers in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round? The Tom Brady draft, I'm sure there was only a certain amount of draft players in that. It's foolish. In a way, it's almost arrogant. But it happens every year. For what it's worth, the Jaguars have 2 picks in the 4th round, right? So Monday night, you'll know early, number 5. Friday night, you have a 2nd-round pick, number 36, and you have 2 third-round picks, number 70 and 88. Saturday, in the 4th round, you go 105 and 124. 5th round, you go 141. 6th round, you go 180, 192. And then 7th round, you go 221. Trent Baalke did do a good job putting together draft capital. This would have been a big-time Trent Baalke draft because you're going to hear more and more about it as the days go by. There are going to be so many teams that are going to be willing to trade down this year. And Trent Baalke traded down last year and got a fantastic player. I mean, if we were redoing last year's draft beginning tomorrow night, where do you think Brian Thomas would go? Think about that after the year that he had. So let's relook, and we'll do that one of these days as we get closer. Let's relook at the first round and see what worked and what didn't work. And it's a little too, it's too premature to come up with a final analysis based on 1 year. I mean, we were just talking about 5 minutes ago. Many are excusing Trevor 4 years in. And again, it's been a waste. He's won 1 playoff game. He's 22 and 38. But here we are. I'm saying let's go back and talk about last year's draft. It's way too early to do that unless it's completely obvious. Like a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. should have been drafted a lot earlier than he was. But that's not typically the way things work. In the case of Trevor Lawrence, he's going into his 5th year. And, that's the scary part of it. I mean, to be flat honest with you, 4 years in, I don't know. I knew with Blaine Gabbert. I knew with Byron Leftwich. I knew with David Garrard. I knew with Gardner Minshew. I don't know. No one knows. You may be the biggest supporter and provide facts and analysis that support them, or like one of the recent texts I just got that I read to you. A couple of them, actually. Hit pieces. Those who are convinced it's not going to work. Again, I hate to be redundant, but the bottom line, man, he's played 4 years. We do not know.
Super moments.
This is the play of the game right here.
Super games.
Everyone wants to be a part of NFL history.
Superstars.
He is a difference maker now.
On the Superstation.
You will be wowed.
1010X. 1010XL.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialist for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialist take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Upgrade your home with the winning combination of style and performance from Renewal by Andersen. Energy efficient, custom built replacement windows and doors. For a limited time, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
E.T. here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, you have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits. You have the right to choose your own doctor, too. And I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation, the auto accident experts.
If you're cooking for your sweetheart this weekend, Southern Steer Butcher has you covered. An easy-choose Valentine's Day special menu with the best meats in town. Full V-Day flyer at southernsteer.com.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
Roses are red, violets are blue. A broken pipe? That's no way to woo. This Valentine's Day, don't let plumbing or HVAC problems ruin the romance. Whether it's a leaky faucet, a backed-up septic tank, or a heater that's colder than your ex's heart, Duck Rooter is here to save the day. Our expert team will fix it fast and at a fair price, so you can get back to the love you deserve. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, or online at duckduckrooter.com.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hammond, Valentine's Day is coming up. Got any romantic plans?
Dad, I'm married to Clean Air. My plan is to help Jacksonville families breathe easier.
You're helpless, but Clean Air does sound nice. Can duct cleaning really help?
Absolutely. Dust, allergens, even odors can build up in your ducts. Cleaning them now makes your air fresher and healthier for your family. The EPA says better indoor air quality can reduce health risk.
So cleaning ducts are like Valentine's Day gift for the house.
Exactly. Forget chocolates. Fresh air lasts longer and doesn't melt. Plus, we've got a February special, $100 off your total.
All right, sign me up. Maybe fresh air will make Mom fall in love with me again all over.
You'll have to take her to dinner for that, but cleaner air will definitely help.
Fair enough. Jacksonville, if you're ready to show your home some love, Google Zerorez and read over 7,000 five-star reviews. Zerorez.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Cerorez. Zerorez.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
The Jaguars interviewed Trey Brown today for their general manager position. He is currently the Bengals senior personnel executive. Also, reports came out today, including from Jordan Schultz, saying that John Robinson, the one-time GM of the Tennessee Titans, will be interviewed here in Jacksonville. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., we will meet the brand new coordinators, both offensively and defensively. So really looking forward to that coming up early tomorrow. That'll be 10 a.m. at the Miller Electric Center. And we are waiting patiently for our next guest, the one, the only, Raphael Esparza. How you doing, Raphael?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
And I'm doing great. I just saw record-setting numbers for this year's Super Bowl. I guess not a surprise based on attendance and everything else that did happen. How did things end up at the books?
Well, the books won. It was a record-setting number, but the handle was down. I guess Chiefs fatigue was maybe a true thing because all the books I was telling you, they were not as busy as I thought they were going to be. So I think the Chiefs going for a three-peat 3 times in the Super Bowl, and I think that might have had a lot to do with the tickets not coming in on the game itself.
Yeah, it was 7-0 for a while. I thought that under was certainly going to fall, but it really exploded late in the second half.
And thanks for reminding me on that one because I had the under as well. Thanks for bringing up old wounds.
Yeah, but I did too. I thought under 49 was the play, but some late points for a backdoor cover. Any prop really stick out, good or bad, for the books?
I think the reason why the books had a record numbers because pretty much all the key player props all went under. Saquon rushing yards under, tight end for Eagles Dallas went under, Patrick Mahomes passing yards went over, which everyone bet the under on that one. So I think that's probably one of the main reasons why the books had a really, really good Sunday because player props went totally opposite than what the bettors were betting.
Will the PGA Tour now pick up a little bit with football out? I know they go back to Torrey Pines for the second time here in the last, 3 weeks because of the fires in Los Angeles. And it's a good field at the Genesis.
Yeah, even though Tiger was supposed to play, but I totally understand he's grieving because his mom just passed away a couple of weeks ago, so he pulled out. But, yeah, the field is phenomenal, so I think it's going to be a good tournament. It'll pick up for the next couple of weeks, golf does. But then we all know once that calendar turns to March, it's pretty much all college basketball. So I would say be thankful that there's golf on because there's no NBA and no NHL this weekend.
Gators have gone on a nice roll against ranked teams, including knocking off Auburn over the weekend and winning by a big margin last night. Florida getting any play at all to win the national title?
Ever since their last game they have. So, yeah, they're probably one of the most popular bets coming in to win it all. Not the number one popular bet. It's not an SEC team. It's St. John's, or the best popular bet coming in is the Johnnies. So, but Florida getting a lot of love. And let's face it, SEC, Alabama getting a lot of love because I think people like to watch Alabama because they put up 100 points pretty much every time they go on the court.
I have covered 26 Daytona 500s in my career, including fooling my bosses in Chicago for 7 consecutive years to fly me from there to Daytona for the race. I was there when Dale Earnhardt won. I was there when Dale Earnhardt lost his life. I will not be there this weekend. Where's most of the money going at the Daytona 500?
Wow, I'm actually shocked you're not going because ever since I've been doing this show that you've been telling me what's going. So that's an interesting one. I mean, it's pretty much wide open. I think more money will come in when we start putting up head-to-head matchups tomorrow. So right now, it's for NASCAR and IndyCars. They don't come until like 24 to 36 hours before the event. They don't bet early on NASCAR and stuff like that. So anything that's motorsports, they usually bet 24 to 36 hours. Right now, the field is pretty much wide open. It's going to be very interesting what the betting public does Thursday and Friday.
Raphael Esparza, tell us what else is going on right now at MyBookie and MyBookie.org.
Yeah, we had a great UFC event last weekend. If you didn't watch that, Sean Strickland's nose got separated, and he said it in the ring. But don't forget, UFC is going on this weekend as well. We have college basketball, some fantastic matchups on Saturday. Four Nations starts tonight. Canada. Can anyone beat Canada? That Canada team is heavy offensive. They're going to score a lot of goals. Can't wait to watch that. And we have some good soccer this weekend, too. So jump over to mybookie.ag, sign up today, and win today.
Always a pleasure, Raphael. Thank you.
Take it easy.
There he goes, Raphael.
The 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
And Hacker Nation is in. What's going on, Hacker?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because the Jaguars have been in the news so much as of late, but it seems to be like this more and more. The Daytona 500 is Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, an hour from us. It's Wednesday, and man, you haven't heard hardly anything about it. It's unreal.
They've lost, in my opinion, just about all of their star power.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just talking about it. I mean, for 7 straight years in Chicago, I flew back and covered it. And then I kept going with my good buddy, the Godfather, Jim Kane, who's passed. And then Miller Lite had that terrace forever right behind Pit Road. And it was all you could eat, all you could drink. And every single year I went to the Daytona 500. But it's been a couple of years now, really since probably COVID. I think I've been once since COVID. But I'm not going this weekend.
Yeah, we took my stepdad's RV down to a couple of them. That's fun. A couple of nights in the infield. Oh, my gosh. That's unbelievable.
Great time.
But, yeah, I mean, look, I remember the days of, obviously, Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, go on down the line. Honestly, I don't know if I could name 10 guys right now.
Yeah.
And that's probably my fault because I've kind of lost track of them. But you're right. The stars have just kind of evaporated in that sport a little bit.
Well, we know our audience, and there was a time where I would get NASCAR questions. The next NASCAR, and I'm so interactive with these listeners on the text line. The next NASCAR question I get will be the first NASCAR question.
Agreed. We used to have a guest a day, Daytona week. We would have one NASCAR guest per day on Daytona week, and I probably haven't done that in 7 or 8 years.
And we go down there with Joe. Kyle, we go down there every year for the 21-25s, and I remember when it was the Bud Shootout and all that stuff, and they still have plenty of those events. The names have changed. The sponsors have changed, but I don't know. I guess attendance is down. I don't really look for NASCAR ratings. I don't know how they are anymore.
Honestly, it's confusing to me. You got the stages now, and I don't understand the point system and all that. And again, I'm sure if I did a deep dive, it's maybe not that complicated, but on the surface, they've just changed so much of it that it's just kind of weird now.
Yeah, the biggest problem that I had is the last couple of laps, it would become a shootout, and then there was a time, and they would make changes. It reminded me an awful lot of the BCS. They would make changes right after the race based on a mistake that occurred during the race. But I remember Jeff Gordon winning a year during a caution flag and everyone going crazy. And then they changed it and became a shootout, and it would never be the top 5 or 6 cars. It would be cars 17, 18, 19, and 20 would have this huge car, this huge crash, and it would kind of mess everything up. And I don't know.
I'm with you. I still enjoy watching it. I'll probably give it a watch on Sunday for a little bit. But again, I just have lost I haven't necessarily lost interest. It's just like you said, the stars that are gone, and I'm just not familiar with the new guys that are there now.
Individual sports, man. I mean, when I'm older than you. Growing up in the 70s, boxing was king.
Mm-hmm.
Tennis was king.
Yeah.
But, you had the heavyweights there. When you had Ernie Schaefer's, Ken Norton, Leon Spinks, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. I mean, you had heavyweights, and then, the personalities in tennis. Tennis is so great. I know you still get into tennis.
I still do.
They're phenomenal athletes, but individual sports for me, where I'm at right now, I'm a massive golf guy. But outside of that, I just really don't get into it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And obviously, there's been so much Jaguar news going on, and we're going to keep it that way tonight. Leon Searcy is going to join me to talk about everything that's transpired with the Jaguars. We are going to do a little bracketology, all right? Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com. Jerry's one of the main guys when it comes to the bracket. Where's Florida at? Where's the other SEC teams at? In fact, Jerry told me his latest bracketology, 14 SEC teams. 14 of the 68 were from the SEC. And then we'll also do a little NBA talk with Keith Smith of the NBA Front Office Show coming up at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour.
Jerry is a mathematician. He's an original Chicago guy. When he created all of that, he was that guy that was ahead of the BCS in his own mathematical ways and figuring it out before they did. And I'm really happy to see what Jerry has done with his career. He is taken off, and he's a really good guy. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you to John Oesher. Thank you to Raphael Esparza. I don't check YouTube or I don't check the text line or any of that now that the show is over. But you can always get me on Twitter. That is Ballou1010XL. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., the coordinators meet at the Miller Electric Center. So we'll have that for you coming up tomorrow night. Fresh stuff from Grant Udinski as well as Anthony Campanile. That's going to do it. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk Thursday at 6 o'clock on your home of the Jags.